Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me. This is my first time here at the conference, my first time in Ireland as well. And last night, I told Brian that stupidly, went straight to the pub, and he put 6 pints of Guinness down me. And so, great night last night. And in fact, there's more to come later, I believe. But yeah, so thanks for the introduction. I spent 14 years in Dorset Police. In fact, my first detective inspector was Jock Mullen, who you saw earlier. And I joined the police 20 years ago because I love crime. I'm fascinated with it. I always wanted to be a bank robber when I was a kid. My mum said to me, no, you cannot be a bank robber, but you should go and join the police because I think you might enjoy it. And she was right, and I loved every minute of it. I spent a year with Jock, and then I joined the high-tech crime unit, and I really started to see the expansion of what I fell in love with was computer crime in the high-tech crime unit. And then after 10 years with them, I joined the cybercrime team, and it was all very new and very fresh. But I felt I wanted to do more because I started to love technology even more. And so I left Dorset Police, and now I'm with ESET. And so I love technology so much, and I want to talk to you about clones and deepfakes, because, of course, AI is massive. It's so fascinating. It's changing the world so rapidly, so quickly, and it's enjoyable to see where we're going with it. And some of the tools I've been playing with, I don't know if anyone here is playing with any of these, 11 Labs and Descript, they can clone your voice very, very well. All you've got to do is give it... Well, the more minutes you feed it, the better it becomes. But some of these can just take 30 seconds of your voice and just replicate your voice incredibly well. And then HeyGen can create your video as well. And I've tested these out on people that know me very well, and they fool people. In fact, I was thinking, how on earth can I then use this to my advantage? Maybe I could use these very cool tools to sit back and start doing, letting them do all the work for me. It made my mind start thinking a lot about it. And in fact, last year, I did clone someone's voice with their permission. I did a SIM swap attack, again, with permission. And I used his voice and sent it via his WhatsApp. So I hacked into his WhatsApp as well, and sent it to their financial director requesting money. Now, they had protocol not to go through this process and this communication channel, but she believed everything. It sounded like him. It came from his WhatsApp, and she said, well, it's the kind of thing Dave would do. And she sent £250 into my bank account. I loved doing that. This was like the in-between of my love of crime and being able to test technology. And I thought, this is incredible. But, of course, criminals are going to jump on this. I did make a deep fake of me. I could just do that and make a deep fake and show you, and you'd just think, well, that could just be you in some footage. But as I'm British, I don't speak any other language. So I thought I would show you a deep fake of me, completely fake, of me speaking Spanish. Hopefully it will play.
Bienvenidos a la próxima generación de fraudes con deepfakes como este. Este video ha sido generado 100% con tecnología deepfake. Y los delincuentes de todo el mundo pronto podrán crear deepfakes tan buenos como este.
There's a bit of lag in the syncing there, but that is such good quality that my mum was so impressed that I had been doing some sort of course in Spanish. She really believed it. It's amazing. But going back to the love of crime, I thought I must use this to my advantage, and it got me thinking. But the title of this talk is The Rise of the Clones. I thought I'll come on to clones and deepfakes a bit later. But let's talk about physical cloning. So I normally ask if anyone's seen one of these before, but I'm going to ask who's got one, because I know what you all do. Yeah. Quite a few hands, definitely more hands than normal. A good old Flipper Zero. I love it. They are such fun little devices. They clone pretty much anything that they can get hold of. So RFID cards to get into your business if you use RFID entry. It can copy credit card information, not the CVV number on the back, that's encrypted, but you can get the long number and the expiry date. You just got to hover it over. Hotel key cards. That's always fun. I was in a Holiday Inn 2 weeks ago, the quickest yet, under a minute. I copied my own card, and then I've got a copy of that key. It's incredible. It can even do some cars. If you have a Range Rover or a Kia, both ends of the spectrum, you must be very scared of these devices. There are some incredible things. For the hackers in the room, go and check out the Game Boy, not the classic 1990s thing, but if any of you are into break into cars, go and check out the Game Boy. It's incredible, and all the car manufacturers are very worried about it. It's basically a Flipper Zero on crack. It's absolutely nuts. Anyway, I bought one of these Flipper Zeros last year, and I needed a volunteer. Now, as I said with the voice cloning software that I use, I love testing out new technology on people. I love to test if I can break into a company or if I can showcase some software, see if I can get past anyone. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't matter. I can then go and say, your security was fantastic. That's equally just as good. But I need volunteers, and I haven't got many friends left because I keep trying all of my things out on them. But I did have one guy that said, you know what, Jake, you can do anything with me. I'm up for a bit of fun. And his name's Jason. And he's a great guy in my local community. I live in Dorset on the south coast of the UK. He's known by loads of people. He owns a very nice recruitment company. So on LinkedIn, he's got a really good presence, very friendly. He's always at these networking events. In fact, that's how I met him. And I said, can I come around and talk to you about a few things that I'm working on? And he said, yeah, sure. You can do whatever, as long as if it's about security, why not come in to my staff and talk to them about it? And I said, what a great transaction. I get to give them some, say, cybersecurity training, but I also get to test out what I've got in store. He had no idea what was to come. So I sat him down and I said, have you seen one of these? He said, no. I said, you've got RFID entry to get in here, yeah? He said, yeah. I said, get your card out. He puts it down on the table, and within seconds, I've copied his card. I said, look, I can now get anywhere in your company, into any offices. At the time we were in his boardroom, I can get into anywhere that you can from now on until you change it. You clearly don't encrypt your cards. He said, I didn't even know that was a thing. I just went for this RFID. When he wasn't looking, I copied his credit cards. I looked at his car and thought, I better not, but I love a spa. So I copied his David Lloyd membership card, and now I can get into any David Lloyd that he can get into. I did, however, find out at one stage that if he's already in there within a certain time frame, I can't then copy it and get in there. It doesn't allow that. But all I've got to do is text him, hey, Jason, how's it going? If he replies straight away, yeah, I'm good. I know he's not at the David Lloyd, so I can go in there anytime. Now, I needed a challenge. I said, look, I really want to do something fun here. I've copied your card. Can I test it and see if I can walk on into your company? And he said, fine, whatever. You won't get very far. We've got good security. We've talked about this with our staff. And they'll stop you. I knew a few people there, but I didn't want to take that to my advantage. I thought I really wanted to give this a good old test. And so I said, can I come in at some point? He said, yeah. Do you know what? Don't even tell me when you're coming in. Just and see what happens. I thought this would be brilliant. I was going past his office. I saw his car where it always is. Wasn't there. I thought this is the perfect opportunity. I went through with my card. With my Flipper Zero. I got through 3 doors, 1, 2, 3, and I sat down in his boardroom. There I am in his boardroom. In fact, you can see there is a staff member to the side. There was another staff member when I got into the boardroom that I thought, I wonder if she'll take a photo. I walked back out. I said, excuse me, would you mind taking a photo of me? I'm struggling to take a selfie with my feet up on the desk. She didn't ask any questions. She said, yeah, sure, why not? So I gave her my phone, she took a photo of me, and there I am, sat in the boardroom, and I sent it to him, and I went, ha-ha, I've done it. And he goes, oh my God, my staff are terrible. They told me that this would never happen. And I said, well, it's quite impressive, this stuff. Until you kill your RFID card, I can get here any time. He said, aha, there's actually one thing you've not thought of here, Jake, the CCTV. Now, the CCTV we've got in place will, of course, show you that you've been into my office, and if you were to do something, say you were actually a threat, well, we'd just go to the police with that CCTV. And in fact, I have got a copy of that CCTV. Here it is. Just going to play that. Now, this is me with my Flipper Zero, doing a little flip with it. I'm going to look into the camera. You can see that is me to prove a point. I said, oh, interesting you talk about CCTV, Jason, because I love technology and I've been playing with some face-swapping technology. In fact, I've been using SwapFace. For any of the hackers out there, go and check it out. It's pretty good. It's open source, no funding criminality. There are some very impressive underground tools out there, but I can never buy them, unfortunately. I've got to get the free ones. All it does, it looks at your face, it puts someone else's face on top of yours, and it looks quite impressive. And to prove that, I got the CCTV, I stuck another face on my face, and I sent him what I'm about to show you. For your reference, the one on the left is going to be the original. The one on the right is the fake face. The fake face I just took off one of my favorite sites, thispersondoesnotexist.com. By the way, if you like that site, they have a sister site called thiscatdoesnotexist.com. And if you just want to look at AI cats all day, I'm not going to judge, but it's quite a funny site. And I took that face and I stuck it on, and hopefully it will play. Yeah, so I'm only going to zoom in just to prove that really isn't me. Look at that. That is not my face. Zoom into there. And that's good quality. Even better that it's in black and white. I can stick that on there. And I said, what, there's CCTV? His mind was blown. And he said, oh, my God. There's nothing to prove that you were here. I said, no, that guy was in the office on that day. And you were in here because your RFID got me into that office. Maybe you helped him. And he's thinking, oh my God, is this what the next level of criminality is going to be? I said, there's actually one step further that I'm going to go, because my favorite headline ever that I read earlier this year, I don't know if any of you saw it, that the finance worker paid out $25 million with a deepfake CFO. I mean, the criminal inside me just loved that. I just thought, oh, I'd love to test this out. And I said, Jason, you know, we said we could do anything. I've got this idea. I don't really want to tell you about it. He said, yeah, fine, you can do whatever. And I thought, I wonder if I could go on a Zoom call. Using this software, it works pretty well in real time. I think, all you've got to do, by the way, if you want to play with this, you set up a virtual camera, you put it through the software, you stick any head you want, and it jumps onto your face. And then the way that this one worked, I found out, is they did this for a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds or so, and then they flipped it onto just a voice call saying that the bandwidth wasn't that great. And I thought, this is it. I'm going to try and steal some money. Last year I did it over WhatsApp. This I'm going to do it over a Zoom call. All I had to do was turn me into Jason. However, you may notice there's one big difference between me and Jason. He hasn't got any hair. Now, the software only does the middle part of your face. It doesn't do your hair. So I went and bought a bald wig. And as you can now see, that didn't work either. I tried it. I set up this Zoom call. I looked horrendous. It just looked really weird. I had his face, and it kind of worked with his goatee, but this line of it just didn't work. And I thought, okay, that kind of fills me with a bit of confidence. But at the same time, this software, we still call it phase 1 or whatever, it's just evolving so much. And I'm like, you know what? Give it a couple of years. I'm going to do this. I'm really going to try this. But I didn't want to stop there. I thought, no, you know what? A Zoom call as you would be fun. But can I do one more thing? And by now he's like, fine, you know what? Do anything. And I said, can I hack into your LinkedIn? And he said, yeah, what are you going to post? I said, it's an experiment. It'll be really interesting. And so here's my graphic for hacking into a LinkedIn account. It didn't take long. He had exposed passwords out there. We had a good old chat about his exposed password, showed them all them. And here I am in his LinkedIn account. Okay. He gave me permission to access his account on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And he said, you can have it for 48 hours, and then I'm having it back. I'm going to then change the password and lock you out of it. And I said, that's absolutely fine. But I'm going to post something, and it's going to be a video. And he said, all right, I do need to tell my wife. But I said, please don't tell anyone else. So I came up with this idea to post, and here he is, here's Jason, to post that he was wanting to cycle to Australia. He loves cycling, so it's not too far out there. he didn't want me to go crazy and say something absolutely wild that people are going to say, remember forever, and it damage his business or something. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to say you're going to cycle to Australia, and it's going to take you quite a few months, but I'm going to attach a video to it. And as you can probably suggest, or think, this video that I'm about to show you, it's a deepfake. He is not saying this. I got a video of him on the internet, and I manipulated it to say what I wanted him to say. I know none of you will know Jason, but if you really want to look for details, if you want to notice in this deepfake video I'm about to show you, there's a little bit of movement, say, behind the neck that might give it away, and maybe a bit in the sound quality. But of course, people are watching this on their mobile phone and on their computer, and it does sound like him, it looks like him, and why would they not believe it? And so I posted this video.
Hi, everyone.
Oh.
So I've decided that the challenges I've been a part of just haven't been challenging enough for me recently, so I've decided to go bigger than ever. You're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to cycle to Australia. I just love being on my bike, and if I don't go this year, I'll probably never do it. Right, so if you want to be a part of my epic journey, do leave a little comment and join me on my adventure, but I will, of course, document the whole thing, so wish me luck, and thanks for watching.
So that is a genuine deepfake video of Jason. And I posted that, like I said, 10 o'clock on that Tuesday morning. And it flew. I mean, people were all over it. I started to see the comments underneath it were like, well done, this is amazing, this is so good. I started to look at the statistics. The statistics went crazy. What was that? Like 5,000 views of this video. People loved it. 4,000 separate people. In fact, some of the comments were so good. It basically says, can we sponsor you? Oh, I didn't even think of this. And then the next one was like, is there a GoFundMe page? I thought, wow, I can monetize this. This was an experiment to talk about misinformation. I hadn't thought of making money from this. And again, the criminal side of me was like, I could so easily make a Just Fund Me page and get loads of people's money, but it's going to be very difficult getting their money back, so I left it there. But I did get an in-mail sponsorship request to be the main sponsor of his ride. People loved it. Like, great guy in the community, going to cycle all the way to Australia for charity. This is fantastic stuff. But what was, again, even more interesting, he then rings me up the Wednesday morning, and he goes, look, Jake, I'm going to have to ask you to take this post down. I said, why not? This is flying. This is amazing. He goes, look, I think you've made your point, but everyone in the office is having a massive go at me now because they're worried what they're going to do without me around for 6 months. I said, that's lovely. They obviously value you enough to think they need your help and support. He said, oh, God, it's absolutely nuts. People were texting him going, oh, my God, I can't believe you're doing this. They totally believed it. Apart from, and this is the one bit of confidence that I have from society, there was one person that said, this is odd, I don't believe it. And it was his 14-year-old daughter. She said to him, I don't trust this video. There's something weird about it. I think it's a deep fake. What were you doing? And he told me this, and I was like, that's amazing. You know, Generation Z, or whatever you want to call them, just get a lot of flack. But the fact is they spotted a deep fake. Maybe they're learning about deep fakes on TikTok all the time. I loved that. And I thought, this is amazing. Because you send anything like this to my mum, and she believes it. So there is a bit of humanity left in that. But I think we just got to come back to the fact that like misinformation, it's really dangerous. And, you know, I'm seeing this here. I did think we would see more misinformation in the run-up to this election. It seems like Trump just did a good job of that himself, genuinely. So you've got to verify everything. Now, at ESET, we don't have the answers. A lot of people say, well, what are we going to do? I'm testing a lot of deepfake software to try and test to see with any sort of work, can they show you any certainty that a deepfake might be a deepfake? But as soon as it gets pretty good, the deepfake software just gets even better. So we're kind of going back to a way of verifying in other ways. I know a lot of small businesses that I speak to are bringing in code words. If anything's out of the blue, they can go around the process, but only when the code word is used, and that code word will change. And I thought that was interesting, but of course, for massive companies, we've got to be looking at other ways. And of course, the font's gone. The seeing is just not believing anymore. You can't trust anything. You certainly can't trust me. By the way, I am looking for a new volunteer for my next talk that I'm working on next year. If anyone wants to help me out, I am looking for them. But yes, seeing is just not believing. You cannot trust anything because it just proves with this that it's so good, the software. But I do want to finish with a little note from my good old friend Nicolas Cage and what he had to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Jake Moore, Global Cybersecurity Advisor at ESET. Now, if you don't mind, I better be going before he rips my face off, too.
And with that, I thank you so much. There is a bit of time for questions if anyone has any questions. Yep. Probably about one, I hear, right, for that? Well, Brian will be paying, surely, right? Yeah.
We get the opposite. It's going to be digitally signed, what we're supposed to believe in, and everything else will be ignored.
Yeah, so the digital signage, that's a good thing. So I was chatting to a company just recently who are working with teams at the moment to include this digital signage within real Teams calls, which is a great idea. But what I fear is people, because you have to access it every time a call happens, and people will potentially become lazy with it. It'll be great for those companies where, I don't know, it's out of the blue, a big transaction. It probably will stop a lot from happening. But until we see how the software works, I'm sure the criminals are going to work out a way to say, authenticate it from within, much like we've heard earlier about how MFA can be convinced into thinking that they are actually using the right codes on that device. I'm sure there will be a way around it. But my biggest fear is that people will just become complacent and not necessarily use it because it's an extra thing they have to do with inside a call. And we know what happens when people have extra work to do, any extra layers they have to do themselves, they tend to bypass it. Well, if no other questions, thanks very much. I'm going to be around all day, and hopefully I'll see you all in the networking and drinks part later on. Thanks very much.